Good afternoon or good morning to everyone, depending on where you are in the world today. Very happy to be with you to talk about my passion, which is helping you find work that you love or more meaning in work you currently love. Our workshop today is called Careers Inside Out, getting you on the track to work that you love. So welcome. My name is Laurel Donnellan, and I am the founder of Careers Inside Out and also Bright Livelihoods, calling from Dallas, Texas today. Today's program, we're going to introduce you to the Careers Inside Out method, which is a 12-part practice and principle method that all of our programs are based on, and I hope that can help you get on the right track. We're going to explore 4 ways to finding work you love and develop a personal action plan for you at the end of this. So you might want to just make sure that you have something to write with or a place on your computer screen to take notes, or you could do that on your smartphone. Really want to encourage you to ask questions. There is a section on your panel on the bottom of the panel for the GoToWebinar software where you can ask me questions. If I don't get to them during the event, I will get to them at the end, and we have plenty of time for that. You can ask me questions about the material that I'm presenting to you or anything else you're struggling with or have a question about regarding your career and the material that I'm showing you. So the purpose of Bright Livelihoods is to transform dreamers into doers, no matter what your age, no matter what your economic level is, no matter where you live. We've worked with people from 14 to 76 so far, and we have particular programs for different age groups. We're going to focus on adults today. So helping you get real clarity around your dreams and making those into reality so that they can have more meaning for you, so you can focus on how to better yourselves, your family, and your community. This is our method. This is the work that I've done over the last 15 years in helping people find work that they love. The foundation of all of our programs, and I'm going to give you an overview of it today so that you can take what is useful to you. We believe that you have to go on a journey, not unlike a Native American vision quest, to going deeper into yourself so that you can go out in the world and do your work. And our method has 3 different parts. The first is reviewing your past, so you learn from your past and that you're very connected to your present. The second piece is being present and being your most authentic self, both at home and at work. And the third part is pulling all this exploration together so that you can create a future that allows you to be your best self. In the first part, the past being connected, there's 4 practices and principles. The first is courage and being a visionary. So you really have to give yourself permission to go back to what do I want to be when I grow up, using your imagination and also your courage muscles to take actions around things that you want to explore. So courage and being a visionary is the foundation of all of our work. Secondly, we explore the idea of faith, not necessarily religion, although for a lot of our clients religion is very important to them and we want to leverage that. But whatever you consider meaning and faith, what do you believe in? For some people that's creativity, for some people that's nature, for other people that's a religion. And we honor all those things so that you can really go deeper and connect to what's important to you as a foundation for this process. Awareness is learning from your past, so you want to take those things you've done in your past. your family values that you've gotten from your parents and grandparents around work, your experiences from school and childhood, your experience from your higher education, and your experiences from work, all that you've done and all that you've learned and all that you've learned from yourself. So you want to have really heightened awareness around those things so that you can take those things that work into your future and leave those things that don't work in your past. The last principle and practice in the first part of our model is around truth, and it's challenging limiting beliefs. So I define limiting beliefs in this context as those things that really hold you back from even having a vision or exploring a vision, and those things that are holding you back from having one, and those things that are holding you back mentally from going for whatever your vision is. So challenging those limiting beliefs is really the psychology piece of our model, and we explore that and use, again, that as a foundation in this process. So that is the past, being engaged, getting connected. The present is about being your most authentic self, and we do that by exploring 4 areas. The first being balance, and that's loving yourself, paying attention to yourself, having a good foundation with both physical, not both, among these things. So we have physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. What are those things you're doing that is helping you be clear and healthy, and what are those things that might be what we call soul leaks that are distracting you? The second piece is around your relationships, both on and off the job. It's really difficult to love what you do if you don't enjoy the people that you're working with. That could be your boss, your peers, your customers. It's also really hard to enjoy what you do if it's having a cost in your personal life. Sometimes I work with people that don't have a personal life because they're working so much that they have to create a bigger life and create something outside of work so they're more balanced. So relationships, very, very important. The third piece of this being present and exploring your wholeness and exploring your authenticity has to do with money. I don't believe do what you love and the money will follow. I know lots of people that love what they do and haven't figured out how to make a sustainable income from it. So we explore your values around money, your needs around money, your ideas around money, and your lifestyle so that you can come from a strong foundation when you get to the part around exploring what is going to work for you in the world of work in your professional life. The last principle and practice is really the core of what we do here at Bright Livelihoods. It's authenticity, and it's finding and develop your passions. So we define passions as 4 different areas. The first being, what are you curious about? What are you interested in? What are those disciplines that you like to study? What do you like to read about? So what are your interests? The second piece is, what are your talents? And I define talents differently than skills. You could be good at a lot of things that don't give you energy, and that can be a trap. So talents are those things that when you're doing them, you get energy back. There's probably talents you have that you know about that you wouldn't necessarily give up. And for some of our clients, it's about discovering new talents and experimenting with what you could enjoy in your future. So, and what you could master in the future. So that's talents. The third piece is around your style. So what do you bring to work and what do you need to express at work that is different than your talents? It could be, for example, a sense of humor. It could be a sense of meaning. It could be, you like to bring productivity and order. So what is your style outside of talents? And the last piece is, what do you need to be at work already? For some of my clients, they need to have a really organized, clean environment. They actually enjoy the corporate environment. the collaboration. For other clients, they enjoy working from home. Some clients need a lot of noise and action and interaction. Other clients need quiet. So what do you need at work? What do you need to be there at work already before you get there? So that's the environment piece. So that's the real core of what we do. And then the last piece of this, future being your best, translates all of this information into a practical action plan for moving forward towards work you love. The first piece of that is really to explore all your options. So to be creative, play with possibilities, do a lot of research on what you can do in the future. I'm going to explore that a little bit later, giving you some options for that. Integrity is about claiming a purpose, and integrity is really about why are you working. Are you working to send your kids to college? That's a very honorable purpose. And for other people, it's maybe about expressing themselves creatively, and for other people it might be both, sending their kids to college and expressing themselves creatively. For others, developing leadership skills is their purpose. For others, might be changing the world, and I have lots of clients that are doing that by providing shoes for children without shoes, or working on initiatives for social justice. So you have to ask yourself, why are you working, and then communicate that in a purpose statement, and then use that to measure how close you are to work you love. Vision is creating a future idea or picture about what you really want to create in your life and in your work, and then galvanizing that vision and going after that vision. It takes some time and effort to do that. It doesn't happen in an instant. You may have some snippets of what your vision is and have to put some more meat on the bones there. So vision is seeing soul work, and I'm going to define soul work in a moment. Commitment is doing remarkable work, and I want to encourage you, whether you are doing your dream job right now or not, it's really important that you feel every day that you're doing your best. That will help you complete a job or complete projects well. It'll help you build self-esteem, and it'll actually give you more energy for this process. So once you figure out what your soul work is and what you want in the future, then you can put together a plan for making it happen. So that is Careers Inside Out, our method. I'm going to slow down a moment and just ask you to bear with me here and play with me on this idea of inside out. So finding and following a calling, or soul work as we call it, really requires you to slow down and trust your intuition and know your intuition and know your heart. So we're going to just do a very quick exercise to help you do that. I know that some of you are at your desks at work and you're not necessarily going to be able to do all parts of this, but you can just follow along and I hope get something good out of it. So just, if you can, close your eyes and focus on your breath. Try not to change your breath, but focus on it. So breathe in and breathe out in a natural pace. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to slow it down. Just breathe. And as you're breathing in, breathe in this idea of vision. Vision being a positive picture of the future. And just allow that idea of vision, positive vision, moving into your heart. And if you can, imagine that idea of vision taking on a color. This also just helps your imagination. So taking on a color and then moving that energy and that color and that idea of vision into your body. So into your solar plexus, into your abdomen, into your thighs, into your knees, down through your legs, through your calves, into your feet, and moving that energy into the floor beneath you and then into the earth. Moving that idea of vision back up through your feet, through your calves, through your knees, through your thighs, through your hips, your solar plexus, back into your heart, moving that energy through your head through your neck and head, and then down through your arms into universal energy that connects us all. Keep breathing. If you get lost, keep breathing. And just drop back down into your heart and see if any idea or picture comes up for you around this idea of positive vision. And just bring that into the work that we're about to do together. And if you didn't get anything, that's okay. This is a practice that we encourage our friends and clients to do, and the idea is to slow down your brain waves and increase your imagination. Sometimes visualizations don't work for people, and I encourage you to find your own way of visioning. It might be sitting on a rock in nature or sitting on a park bench in a city, but this work does require you to get back in touch with your body and your spirit in a way that's meaningful to you. So the first key to finding work you love is understanding the goal, and the goal is soul work. So I define soul work as the absolute best use of your passions and purpose, and unremarkable work is not sustainable. Some of you might be doing unremarkable work now, so it's not a sustainable place to be. It could be draining your energy, and it could be also not helping you build economically. So unremarkable work is work that drains you, and that's represented by the rain here. What we want to help you get to immediately, if we can, is more remarkable work. So remarkable work is work that is sustainable, and there's two types of work underneath that umbrella: bridge work and soul work. So soul work is the goal. It's finding that thing that really excites you and energizes you and helps you on your path to more meaning and happiness. And sometimes soul work is a hobby. You know, sometimes it's being in a dad band or being a gardener or volunteering at a hospital, and that's really, really what lights you up. And sometimes it doesn't pay. Ideally, we'd like to help you find something that is soul work and pays, and that's the long-term goal. In the shorter term, bridge work supports you on your path to finding and following your heart and finding soul work. So bridge work often, for example, pays the bills so you can go back to school to pursue what your love is, or allows you the economic stability while you discover how to create your skills that you need for your soul work. So figuring out soul work, having bridge work if you need it, but definitely moving from unremarkable work to remarkable work is the path we want to help you get on if you're not on it already. Number two, key two, is balancing emotional and economic sustainability. So sometimes I work with people who are in quadrant one who love what they do but really struggle with economics, and that's not sustainable. Sometimes I work with people in quadrant three who are struggling economically and emotionally, which is very, very hard. And quadrant four, honestly, is what I work with most in my past professionally, is people that may be doing well economically but are feeling compromised by their work. It could be the values don't match with the culture, or they're just tired of doing the same thing. Could be they don't like their boss, lots of things. So again, ideally what we want you to do is move towards a balance between this emotional and economic sustainability, so you have both. And actually one feeds the other. If you're emotionally good, you're going to be more productive, and you're going to be more focused, and you're going to be healthier, and you're probably going to make more money. If your foundation and your needs are taken care of, you're probably going to have more energy to be happy and be emotionally healthy. So those things feed on each other. So you want to consider both things when you're developing a plan for work you love. The key three is reducing career anxiety. So over the years, I've been doing this work for, I think, 15 years full time. And before that, I was working in human resources. I'm finding there's more and more anxiety around work, not only in adults but in teenagers too. There's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of change. You know, the workplace has changed, as all you know. So reducing anxiety so that you can make better decisions and do better work is important. So take care of basics, meaning are you sleeping enough? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating well? It's important to talk to someone, whether you want to get a coach or do a program. Just talking to your spouse or your trusted friends about what you're going through is really, really important. Manage your energy at work. So I think it's important not to underperform. It's also important not to overperform because you need energy left at the end of the day. So like I said earlier, do good work wherever you are, and try not to leave all yourself and all your energy at work. Do anything that raises your confidence. That could be, being a better mom, focusing in on your kids more. It could be, perhaps taking a class. It could be doing something athletic. So you may just want to think right now about what are maybe one or two things that I could do to raise my confidence, and jot those down for yourself. And I think the thing that I try to help adults do and remember, if you don't remember anything else from today, is actually put time aside to dream and vision and use your imagination. It's so important in creating career resilience. So take time to dream. The fourth practice is practicing what I call the 3 R's of Careers Inside Out. Number 1 is reflect and get centered, and we did a little bit of that with visioning, but for whatever it takes for you, it could be playing with your dog, it could be going to the park, it could be looking into the eyes of your children. So reflect and get centered. It's important. Research, really, really important. I think a lot of my clients have been in a certain industry or a certain job for such a long time, could be even a certain city, and their world has become very small. And if you're going to make a transition into work that you love, it's going to require you networking and maybe taking classes and interviewing people and having coffees. So research the choices, and if it sounds overwhelming, start locally. Find people that enjoy their work and take them to coffee. And then research. There's so many things out there. We're living in a time of challenge, but it's also a great time of opportunity around work. So expand your choices. And then the thing I hear most from people I've talked to that love their work is they often have taken actions before they were ready. So the 3rd R is resolve. So make a choice to start taking actions before you're ready. It could be, just going out and explore. I have so many clients that want to start their own business, and they don't necessarily have an idea. And I was told early on in my career to steal good ideas shamelessly. So look at what other businesses are doing in your areas of interest, or perhaps look into buying a franchise. You don't want to make risky, hasty decisions, but you do want to start exploring and taking actions before you're ready. So that's the 3 R's. And that's the 4 keys to work that you love. So here are 4 strategies to consider for your next career chapter. So I just want to focus in on you and what might be appealing to you. And there's 4 options here. So as I go through them, think about the one that resonates most to you. First, focus your job search on a culture fit. There's lots of jobs. You can spend a lot of time online, applying for jobs, speaking to those of you in a job search, and 70% of jobs, despite all this noise on the internet, are still found through other people and through direct connections to companies. So to narrow down your, I know you don't have, if you're working full-time, which probably most of you are, you don't have a ton of time to, apply for every job that's online. So consider your current job. What are those things that work for you? Maybe it's the size of your company, it's the type of work you're doing, it might be the team, it might be the leadership. Think about those things that are working. Think about those things that aren't working. So it might be, for example, the amount of hours you're working. Or it might be, you're a tech person and the company you're working for is so behind on technology. So what you want to think about are those attributes that are really important to you, and then look for companies that fit that culture. Number two, I started talking about this early, becoming your own boss. If you have this yearning inside of you to explore that, I think it's a great time to do that. I mean, for some of my clients, it's a necessity. Currently, about 22% of the workforce is freelance or entrepreneurs, and that is going to be 40% by the year 2020, I'm told. So this might be something that many of you want to explore, and you can do that by talking to people that have built businesses. There's a lot of great resources online. I'll throw one out to you. The Kauffman Foundation is an amazing organization that helps people start businesses and helps entrepreneurs and helps people transfer their skills from corporate jobs into entrepreneurship. So find your local and maybe national and global opportunities to learn about entrepreneurship. I also think it's just really good to talk to people that have run their own businesses and hear their story. The third strategy is to choose a portfolio career. So a portfolio is doing several things at once, and I have several clients that pretty much taught me how to do that. I used to believe that I could only do one thing or one business at once, and that was enough for me, and I've kind of shifted out of that over the last few years. I have several businesses and enjoying that and enjoying the variety of that. And I learned that from my clients. So, for example, I have a client who is, he was a Juilliard cellist, so he's very good at music. Then he became a lawyer, and now he is an entrepreneur that has several tech businesses. He also has a social enterprise. So if you're someone that likes to juggle different things, you might be able to do that and explore that. You may not have to choose one thing. You might choose a couple of things. The fourth strategy is, if you like one career and one focus for work, which most of us do, think about choosing your next transition. Work on your vision, work on what you really want to do, and then start learning what you need to learn while you're still in your current job. So that's an example of choosing a strategic serial career. So here's your plan. So this is your time to think and your time to write some commitments down for yourself. So I would, just for the 7 days, focus in on one of these ideas, the one that you think, if you focused on one of these things, which one would be the most helpful for the next 7 days? Thinking about your soul work, balancing this idea of emotional and economic sustainability, just working on yourself to reduce anxiety, or practicing the 3 R's. So think about which one of those things would be most helpful and write that down for yourself as your next 7-day plan. And then same thing, choose one strategy. You can explore all of these things later, but if you're in a job search, let's focus on a culture fit for you. If you're really curious about starting your own business, or maybe you have had your own business and you want to start another one, explore that. Choosing a portfolio career is maybe looking at your time and looking at your talents and thinking about maybe doing more than one thing at the same time, diversifying your portfolio, or thinking about how you can get ready now for your next career while you're still working. So choose one of those things, and those, those choices are your 7-day plan. I want to tell you a little bit about a program that we have coming up that you might enjoy. We have a new version of a program we're very excited about. So we've been doing Career Masters programs for years and years. Lots of people have been getting a lot of benefit out of it. And as we have done this, have realized that people are just needing more self-directed learning and also a more flexibility in the amount of time they spend with us. So we've created a new version of this. It's 8 online live group sessions. They're all recorded. In case you miss a session, you can listen in. I apologize for my typo here. This is based on the step-by-step process that we went through with you earlier. So you can get lots of direction on completing that process. We give you a workbook that you work through, and then we have these classes. We also have a social network for support and questions whenever you need it to interact with your fellow classmates and also the coaches that are teaching it. I am one of the teachers, and I'm bringing on a good friend and a master coach, Daryl Brown, into this as well. So we have 2 great teachers for this program. Not being too humble today, and the investment is only $495, so it's a really good value. I hope you sign up. You can just sign up by going to brightlivelihoodz.com, clicking on Career Masters, and signing up today if you want to. We'd love to have you. So that starts on May 6th. So here we are. Any questions? Any questions about what I've covered or anything? If you're struggling with anything, I'm happy to give you a little coaching right here and now. If you have the time and have the curiosity to give me a question, please look at your question box on your panel, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And if you don't, I understand. You can also set up a one-to-one half-hour consultation with me. I'm happy to do that. I'll be sending you a follow-up email, and you can arrange that with me directly, or you can right now email me at laurel@brightlivelihoodz.com and set up a session with me. Happy to do that. No pressure. It's just a pleasure to talk to people about where they're at and offer that. So in addition to the big classes that we run that are going to start in May, we also do one-to-one work, and I have many coaches that work with me, and we match you to your best coach, and that's also an option. So lots of options. I don't see any questions, but happy to. Here we go. Here we go. Put my glasses back on. Thank you for the question. What do you recommend for first steps for someone moving from one industry to a new one? I think it's always good to interview people that are in that new industry and start, if you can, finding cohorts that can help you learn lessons from them, so you don't necessarily have to go through a huge learning curve. So, for example, I used to be in the hotel industry, and then I moved into human resources, and then I moved into coaching and personal growth and personal development. So it's never too early to start developing those networks for your new job. You can think about, local associations or national conferences. That's really a great way to accelerate your network and accelerate your learning. So I would say, start hanging out with your new tribe as soon as possible. And that's one thing. And the second step I would say is, like I said, I think that you should continue to do good work in your current job, but you might want to ease up on the gas, and so you have energy for this transition. It takes energy to transition from one thing to another. I hope that answers your question. I'm happy. If it doesn't, please ask me another clarifying question. I'll be happy to answer it. I got a thank you, so I think we're good. Any other questions? You can ask about anything. You can ask about, anything you're curious about. I see people are still hanging out with me, so if you have a question, please answer. Please feel free to ask it. If you're more comfortable talking to me one-to-one, happy to do that as well. So I'll give you another minute, and I'll wish you a really great day. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I hope we get to see or interact with you soon. Be well. Bye-bye.